morning, friends, and welcome to After GMS. We thank you so much for your patience. We know we're a little late getting started today. Had some technical gremlins to work out. It is Monday, of course. I'm Megan Maleris with Christian Morgan. We'll check in with Sydney Moore in just a few minutes because several students are heading back to school today and might need the umbrella.
Yeah, let's send the kids to school with the umbrella this morning. Not going to rain all the time everywhere, but it's possible at any point you could get caught under a downpour, maybe even a thunderstorm as we go into the afternoon. Now, I promise that Greensboro is somewhere in here. It's just kind of hiding behind all of the fog this morning, and temperatures in the 70s right now, pretty much all across the board. Take a look at this. This is our visibility map, or where it shows you where the thickest fog is. So as you head out the door this morning, plan a couple extra minutes for your morning travel. And of course, keep in mind that school buses are back on the road as well this morning. So there's no need to be in a rush. Just plan a couple extra minutes. You know about it because I'm telling you about it right now, right? Of course, on the radar, not much is happening locally, but there is plenty of rain out to our west in the mountains and foothills, and even some showers starting to pop up to our west in Davidson County, even a couple in Forsyth County, out in Davie County, and down in Rowan County as well. And like I said, at any point, a shower or a downpour will be possible, and that chance will get greater, of course, as we go into the afternoon. Mostly cloudy for the majority of the day. There could be a few peaks of sunshine from time to time, but there won't be much of it. Afternoon highs topping out in the low 80s, and even though it's not all that hot, it's still going to be super muggy. We have tons of tropical moisture in place over the Piedmont. Stalled out front across the state right now. That's kind of the focal point for showers and thunderstorms, mainly while they're popping up across southern Virginia and also in the foothills as well. But as we go into the next couple days, Tropical Storm Fred in the Gulf will make landfall on the Florida Panhandle later today, and then it will track to the north across Alabama, Georgia, and mainly across Tennessee. But what it does is bring all of that tropical moisture that's wrapped around the storm into the Piedmont. It's a very lopsided storm right now, so all of the shower and storm activity is on the east side of it where we will be. There it is, live look at it right now. It has 50-mile-per-hour winds moving north at 9 miles per hour. About 160 miles south of Panama City, Florida right now. As far as rain totals go, a really good soaking over the upcoming week. 1 to 2 inches looking possible here in the Triad, even more than that as you go back to the west and in the foothills, where I am concerned about some flash flooding potential for those folks as well. Of course, if that track shifts to the east, we get more rain. If it shifts to the west, we get less rain. So there's Fred. There's also Tropical Storm Grace down in the Dominican Republic, and brand new as of last night, we have Tropical Depression 8 just off the island of Bermuda, and it'll meander there for a couple days. So the only thing we really need to watch at the moment is Fred. Of course, if that changes, we'll keep you updated. Tropics are busy as we expect in the month of August. So it's a soggy start to the week. Keep that umbrella within reach for the next couple days. Temperatures well below normal, right around 80 for Tuesday and 82 for Wednesday. Heading into Thursday, rain chances come down. Temperatures go back up. By the weekend, it's typical summertime stuff again.
It's an exciting day for some Guilford County students. Some of them are back in their classrooms this morning at restart schools with new safety protocols in place. WFMI News' Sydney Moore is live breaking down the district's Strong Schools Health Toolkit. In other words, Sydney, how to keep children safe this year.
Yeah, with the contagious Delta variant spreading, it's top priority to keep students and staff safe. With the district's lengthy plan, it includes sanitation, physical distancing requirements, and when and where folks are expected to wear a mask. It's back to school time for Guilford County students.
We are highly anticipating the return.
But as they get back familiar to classrooms, they will have to adjust to what's called the Strong School North Carolina Public Health Toolkit. GCS is following toolkit recommendations for mask wearing, requiring them indoors and on all school buses, except when drinking and eating. Masks are not required outdoors unless someone is participating in a high-risk activity. Kadrian Wilson, who is a former Guilford County elementary teacher and now the principal intern at Fairview Elementary, says her elementary school is making sure communication is clear when it comes to wearing masks.
We have signs all around the building about masking up. We are going to model that for students. And so we just want parents to know that their students and their scholars are in great hands.
Cleaning and disinfecting is also top of mind. The toolkit states that there will be routine cleaning daily, and if a positive case is confirmed, affected spaces will be cleaned.
And really being intentional about the spacing and following those guidelines for social distancing and all those best practices.
Guilford County school officials plan to revisit the mask requirements after the first quarter, and they also are encouraging folks to get vaccinated if they are eligible.
And I love the pom-poms those teachers are waving behind Sydney there in the live shot as students and parents in the drop-off lane come on and approach the school building. It's an exciting time for students. I'm sure some nerves are at play, but brings back a lot of memories, doesn't it?
It really does. And, you know, it's so good to see. And I feel like, you know, obviously there was a school year last year, but it's been so long since we were able to do it this way. And it just kind of, it's like a breath of fresh air in a way.
It is, and of course, triggering of our own memories, the sound of the school bell and the students in hallways, the smell of school textbooks, all things that come with the first day back at school. We're asking you here on our feed, what's your favorite thing about the first day of school? What is your favorite back to school memory if you're no longer in school? Picking out your outfit, using new supplies? Let us know in the comments below. Some of you already shared your thoughts on my Facebook page. Michelle said, I think packing my book bag and school supplies would have to be my favorite memory of all time. I probably had them packed a week or two before school started. Good for you, Michelle. Gerald said running to catch the school bus. Bobby said reuniting with my friends from the previous year and sporting my new school clothes. Some of you texted in your answers. One viewer wrote, when I was younger, some years ago, it was a new outfit from head to toe. Larry said, my favorite school memory was meeting my good friends. And I chuckled at another comment that came in on my feed from a viewer who said, I looked forward to going to the cafeteria in the morning and getting some cookies from the lunch ladies.
I can get down with that. I like that.
Yeah, that's definitely a positive memory of the first day back. What's yours?
Always liked the fresh textbooks, the brand new pens that you hadn't written with yet. We talked about it earlier, just the smell. Like I can still remember that smell walking into school for the first time for the year. It brings back so many memories.
But as you mentioned, the newness doesn't last very long.
No, it doesn't, because you know, by the end of about a month or two, I've got all the broken little lead pieces in the bottom of my book bag, crumpled up paper there too, and
yeah.
It doesn't last long.
Do you remember the circular sticker things that went over loose leaf paper when it ripped so you could put it back in your binder?
That took way too much time.
Yeah.
I did it, but it took way too much time.
I know. Yeah, and then I remember my school tried to use erasable pens one year, and those just never wrote correctly. They just never wrote well.
Did you have a school store?
In high school we did, not in grade school.
See, in elementary school, middle school, and I'm trying to think if we had one in high school. But in middle school, it would set up like in the middle of the hallway. So you always went by it, going down the hall, going to class. And they always, I don't know why it was a thing for a while, pencil grippers were like the cool thing to have. And if you had different colors of them, that was like, you were popular and it was cool to do that. I just remember that too. And I remember one day, of course I'm still this way. I'm still tall and lanky and very, you know, spastic, I guess. But I walked up to the school store one day and bought a couple of erasers, and I guess I was excited, but I turned and took my arm and took out the whole school store. The cash box went over all the erasers, all the pencil grips. That was one of the most embarrassing moments of my elementary school career.
I'm sure you made up for it with your brains and your charm.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. I tried.
Yeah, it wasn't all bad.
It wasn't all bad.
That's so funny. The pencil grippers. I remember buying those at the school book fair. So we have some other memories coming in. Bobby said reuniting with friends from the year before and sporting my new school clothes. Another viewer wrote earlier on my page she looked forward to going shopping at Sears with her mom every year before school started. Preston said, I'm glad I don't have to deal with school this year. He's graduated.
Oh, wow.
Robin said back to school is the first year for her great-grandson. She's just hoping it goes smoothly, but it has been stressful. I get it. I mean,
I can't imagine.
The normal stresses of back to school, plus the factors of COVID-19, the pandemic, masking versus no masking requirements depending on what school district you are in. It's a lot to process. Preston said favorite school memory was laughing at classmates' jokes. Bobby said, wow, forgot about the school store.
See?
I know.
Brings back memories.
It does.
Wow. And I always loved PE too.
PE was fun. Was that
we had this parachute in elementary school.
Yes, the parachute.
The parachute was hands down the best.
It was always a little smelly because I don't think it ever got washed in between kids.
A lot of sweat.
Yeah, PE class was fun. Oh gosh, so many fun times. I just loved the smell of textbooks, new or old. They just bring back memories. Even now, if I go to the library, it just triggers these back to school memories. I loved meeting friends, meeting new teachers. I always liked school though. I know some children feel differently, some parents might feel differently, but I was always really enthusiastic about going back. Of course, some days are harder than others, and you're always going to encounter those friends who turn out not to be friends or who are, not treating you as you'd like to be treated. But one day at a time, and making friends with those people who are going to support you in your school journey, finding your little group who makes you feel comfortable is so important, and sometimes it's a process.
It's so funny, you think about the friends that you made all the way through school,
Yeah.
and I still talk regularly to probably one or two that we grew up all the way through elementary school,
Really?
middle school, and high school together, and even went to different colleges too.
That is
And
amazing.
still keep up with each other. So and also the other thing, I've always been a huge animal lover. So we had I think it was in 4th grade, we had a hamster that I took home and kept for a weekend. And then in 5th grade, we had a rabbit that I took home and kept for a weekend.
Okay, so you
So
were
I
that student.
always look forward to doing that.
Yeah, you got to take home the class pets at the school
I was so worried
breaks.
it was going to die while I had it that weekend. It
It survived,
It didn't. It
Okay.
made it. It made
All
it.
right. Everything's good with the pet hamster at Christian school. Yeah, gosh, I've lost touch with a lot of my friends from grade school. I keep in touch with a few from high school, but more or less college were my forever friends. I think the friends I really stayed in touch with, who I know I will be friends with years down the road, that was really, I think, when I found my core group.
And that's such a scary thing too, because when I remember graduating, and I was always told, these friends will not always be the lifelong friends. Maybe a few of them, but the people here, you'll meet so many people going to college, and sure enough, and that's a scary thing to think, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be friends with these people that I've spent the last however many years with.
Right.
And then you make new friends in college.
Yeah, you do. It's a cycle. It's part of life.
Really is.
Bobby said she was wondering how her daughter would do on her first day of 4th grade back at school. She was homeschooled last year. She said her girl was super excited. Her prayer is that the excitement lasts. We hope so
I hope
too.
it does.
Yes, to everyone watching who has children heading back to school, grandchildren heading back, we wish them all the very best. Of course, a safe and happy school year ahead.
Yeah, and it's nice to hear that students are excited too. That excitement usually turns into success too.
It does. It does. Sets the tone for the school year on a positive note. Let's get to some headlines, and then we have another conversation coming up momentarily. Today, as we mentioned, Davidson County school students are also back in their classrooms. Some are wearing masks, others are not. Remember, the school board voted to make them optional this school year. They say students who ride the bus do have to wear masks while on the bus, and safety protocols are in place in case a child tests positive for COVID-19. Masks are now required in all indoor places where the public gathers in Guilford County. This started Friday night. It includes all restaurants, all stores, grocery stores, malls, anywhere you would shop where the public gathers. Last Friday, county officials said they would not patrol or hand out fines of violations over the weekend. There was a bit of a grace period for this to get reacclimated. But going forward, they will enforce this policy and said they won't end it until vaccinations increase and case numbers go down. It was a huge weekend in sports for the Triad. Did you see this? Kevin Kisner made birdie on the second extra hole to win a record-tying 6-man playoff at the Wyndham Championship. Kisner had been 0-5 in his career in the playoffs, so this was huge. And the Carolina Panthers had their first preseason game against the Indianapolis Colts. It was also head coach Matt Rule's first game with the team as the lead position. In the end, the Colts won it on a field goal, scoring 21-18. Some room for improvement there, but all in all, I think they really did a good job. I think for the majority of the game, they showed that they were the better team.
I think so, and there's just seeing that first game of the season, preseason, there's lots of promise for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, Matt Rule should feel really excited, I think, about his team. The players, these were normally not the starting players who play in the first game, but even they did really well.
And you had 3 false starts too there. I think it was in the last quarter, and you do that and you just lose momentum time after time again, all 3 in a row. And so that, it wasn't that they didn't have, they had plenty of opportunities to win. So that also, having the opportunities and setting yourself up for at least a chance to win is a big piece of it. So I think there's plenty of promise for the Panthers this year.
Yeah, so sports this weekend in North Carolina had some weather disruptions. We saw the Wyndham get moved up 2 days in a row just to account for those evening storms, and they really made a good call yesterday. More rain in the forecast this week. We want you to drop a comment here on our feed. Are you the person who likes to carry an umbrella on rainy days, or do you just chance it, make a run for it?
I make a
if
run
you're
for
caught
it.
in the rain, the meteorologist makes a run for it. Okay, you drop your comment below while we talk about what's bringing all this rain. Is this a continuation of our pattern from this weekend, or is this the tropical system moving in?
So it's kind of like a transition period between the two of those. So we have
Okay.
this stalled out front that's kind of sitting across southern Virginia. And I know you may be sitting at home and like, well, what does a stalled out front mean? Why does that mean more rain? Well, when you have a boundary or a front like that, it's easier for air to rise over those boundaries. So
Yeah.
it makes it easier for the air to rise and form clouds and eventually, form into showers and thunderstorms. So it also kind of keeps our cloud cover around. So while that's close by, we also do have Tropical Storm Fred, and it's moving into the Florida Panhandle. It'll make landfall tonight on the Florida Panhandle, and then it will track up to the north, and it kind of slides by in Alabama and Georgia, and really through Tennessee, but we're on the eastern side of this. So if you look at the satellite view on Fred right now, it's still a very disorganized storm, meaning it's very lopsided. All the rain, all the storms are on the eastern side of the storm system.
Okay.
So it's going to push all that tropical moisture into the Piedmont. So the higher rain totals, of course, the majority of the rain is going to be in western North Carolina, in the mountains, and over the border in Tennessee. But for us, we still get rounds of rain. So it's not going to rain all the time, not going to rain all the time everywhere. But my suggestion would be have an umbrella within reach for the next few days, unless you just like to make a run for it like I do and chance it.
I usually have one handy too, and then I forget about it. Like the other day, it was downpouring when I left work, and I'm like, oh no, where's my umbrella? Ran to my car, completely soaked, realized I had one in my backpack the whole time. So that's like Robin, she said, I carry one with me and never use it.
That's such a thing, like we run through the downpour to go get the umbrella. And then we
Right.
have the umbrella later after we're already soaking
know.
wet from running out in it. Also,
Yeah.
also, just a word of advice, don't be that person that leaves their sunroof open by accident.
Oh no,
I'm not saying that I've done it, but I might have done it.
you might have done it.
Here at work, actually, while I was tracking rain, sorry, you
While
would think
you were
that
oh,
while
yeah.
I was tracking the rain, I was like, I think my windows are down.
You know, it happens to the best of us.
It does.
Even the meteorologist. You were
does.
just so busy tracking the storm that day, you
It
left your
happens.
sunroof open.
It happens.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting because we certainly had our fair share of pop-up storms over the
Yeah.
weekend, but we kind of expected those. I mean, they're a pattern in the summertime. You said this week will be more continuous, lighter rain,
Right.
hopefully, for most of it at least.
Yeah, and at any point you could get a shower or maybe a thunderstorm. So don't just, bank on the fact that it's just in the afternoons. Even this morning, it's not going to be a lot. It's not going to be all the time. But again, you may get caught under a downpour or a shower, and then you may run into the office looking, soaking wet. So keep that in mind. Upper 70s and low 80s for the next few days. Those clouds and that rain help hold our temperatures back quite a bit. And that'll be the pattern as we go throughout Tuesday and Wednesday too, and even lingering on into Thursday. But at that point, Fred will start to move away from us to the north, which means our rain chances come down just a tad, and our temperatures will go back up into the mid 80s for Thursday and Friday. By the weekend, though, it's back to very typical summertime stuff. We'll run that 30 to 40% chance each afternoon for pop-up showers and thunderstorms. They'll be hit or miss, and temperatures back in the upper 80s again, which is pretty close to normal. So for the next few days, we're running cooler than normal. And it's kind of funny, if you look back at August, you can kind of take your pick. The first week was super cool. Yeah. The last week was full of 90s.
So hot.
And this week will be full of 80s again. So, take your pick what you like.
Yeah, typical summertime in North Carolina for sure. Joel dropped a comment saying he loves the rain. Listening to it at night is so relaxing. I agree. Love watching storms, listening to storms, but when they get to a point where they're causing hail or power outages, then they're just a nuisance.
And we saw some of that this weekend
too.
Yep.
All right. Hey, well, thank you so much for joining us for After GMS. I know we got a late start, but we'll let you get going because we know you have things to do or children or grandchildren to get ready for school.
That's right.
We appreciate you making us part of your day. We'll be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Get out there and get to it.
See you later.